Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakorash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth and a sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom to you all. So I was just doing some research, watching some news articles and looking at some headlines, and I came across this. It says RFK, right, which is Robert F. Kennedy Jr., to encourage Americans to use wearable technology to track their health. Health Secretary shares how friends utterly changed their lives using wearable technology. So as you can see, man, the elders and apostles of GMS had it right, man. This whole society is heading towards the MOTB mandation. Okay, this NWO system that is centered around technology and AI governance. Okay, because I was just watching a video here talking about accelerating discovery with AI and biotech. And basically what they're talking about here is how, there's a lot of molecules that we still have not discovered, like the molecules in a tomato. He was saying that, there's thousands of molecules that we don't know anything about them. But with AI, they're going to be able to discover them at a highly accelerated rate. Okay, and so Esau thinks that he can, fix all these ailments that people have, which he originally created, right? But that he can fix them through his AI system, man, which again, AI is like Esau's God, man. Okay, Esau really thinks he's going to be like the Most High once he gets this AI up and running. I mean, he already thinks he's like the Most High. All right, but he's not. All right, he's a mere man, and the Lord is going to make an example out of you Edomites, man. Okay, but look at this. Secretary Kennedy, right? The same guy, RFK, he said in his post, the mission to make America healthy again, MAHA, includes MABA, making American biotech accelerate. See, so he's all about this mission to combine man with machine, but he's coming at it from the angle of health, okay? Because a lot of people nowadays are more health conscious, and we understand that when this guy came into office, he was making all these promises which on the surface made perfect sense. And I went into it when he came in with President Trump, okay? Like, for example, he said that he was going to ban these artificial colors and dyes that they add to your food, which are illegal in other countries, right? Or a lot of the chemicals that they use in the food here in America, a lot of them are illegal in places like Europe, and around the world. America is the only country where they poison, their citizens on such a high level, and they don't really ban anything. I mean, pretty much anything goes. It's all about making money here. All right, money over people, money over health. Okay, completely unprofitable. Okay, but I typed this in. I said, did RFK ban artificial colors? As Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced a plan to phase out synthetic dyes. He advocated for the removal of these dyes from food supplies, stating that they are poisonous compounds. And it's true. All right. He came in with that premise and telling people that, he's going to remove all type of chemicals from the food. Okay. Which you can go on Google and see, all these foods, the typical junk food, and even those, TV dinners and, processed packaged items, anything that's packaged. Even if it says natural on the front, you look on the back and you've got a bunch of chemicals and dyes and colors and detergents and genetically modified things that shouldn't be there, man. All right, like even just cereal. This should just be wheat, sugar, water, salt. Right here, you got like 5,000 billion trillion chemicals of bullshit, man. All right, I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean? I mean, it just pisses me off that I got to read everything I buy at the store. I got to read it and make sure that it probably doesn't have anything bad in it. All right, and this is just what they tell us. Because again, you can't trust Esau, Edom. Okay, but I say all that to say this, man. This guy came in on the premise of common sense. Yeah, get rid of the bullshit from the food, make everything natural again. But did he do that? No. All right, he baited you people, and he's switching it around. Okay, yeah, to fix the problem, dude, he's been in office all this time, and we still got artificial colors in our food, man. So this guy is bullshitting, man. Oh, and then it's gonna take a while to phase them out, right? And then once those colors are phased out, that's like 1% of the problem. What about all the other bullshit chemicals? You see? So the only time this devil Esau will do good, and he will try to avoid doing good, but if he has to, he'll do it in order to do a much greater evil. You see? And let's get that scripture, man. All right, this is Sirach 14:7. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he will declare his wickedness. So as you can see, man, this is why we tell you don't trust any of these presidents. All right, these people all work for the elite, the international banking families, the Rothschilds and Rockefellers and all of them. They own all these people, man. RFK, Trump, Biden, all of them, left, Republican, Democrat, right? The right and the left. Don't matter. Okay? But see how he came in with the common sense shit. Now he's trying to push some other bullshit on the people that the people never asked for. All right? Because it's not about what you people want. It's about the new world order. Okay? And wearable tech is one giant step closer to the MOTB. All right? They were talking about smart glasses a while ago. I forget who said it. What public figure was, trying to promote it. And now you got Mr. Health guy that's supposed to save everybody from all the chemicals in the food, and he made a 180, and now he's talking about, oh yeah, wear this technology on your body, right? Let's go into it. It says in Salakia, this ain't the one about the chemicals, or Salakia, this ain't the one about the wearable tech, but it's talking about biotech, so it's related, right? It says, we know the power of U.S. biotech. It's time to let it flourish, not tie it up in red tape, misalignment, and a process that gives the edge to foreign interests and large incumbents. We're clearing the path to transform great science into real cures, all at lower costs, and better health for the American people. Life science and biotech are at the heart of that. So instead of doing the obvious, which is removing poison from the food, they want to keep those poisons in there, but then have you wear this health monitor. You see? Because Esau, he's not about cures, man. Because that's gonna mean less profits for Esau, and we know how greedy and covetous Esau is. Okay, so we're gonna connect that with this article. RFK Jr. to encourage Americans to use wearable tech to track their health. Okay, this is June 25th, so this was today. All right, and we're just gonna get into it. It says U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said on Tuesday that it is his vision that every American is wearing a wearable within 4 years. You see, okay, when he came in to office with President Trump, he wasn't talking about that. He was talking about removing poisons from the food, banning jump shots, which those are all great ideas, which is why I said they're not going to happen, man. All right, these guys are what's the word I'm looking for? Rip-off artists, for the lack of a better word, man. Esau's a damn liar, right? Never trust thine enemy. Let's get that. Okay. Sirach 12:10. Never trust thine enemy. Who's our enemy? Esau, Edom. For like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? The same people that had you in captivity and slavery, now they want to help you out, right? Get real, Jake. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, we're bringing these videos out to wake up the elect. Right? Those of you that are of the elect, you're going to see it and you're going to wake up. You're going to understand, all right, the gospel, right? The good news that we're going to be saved from these enemies, man. These enemies of ours, these Edomites, they are unprofitable, man. They're destroying the earth. the people. And as you can see, they're full of lies, man. Everything they do is just one wicked thing after another, man. You can't rule an earth, a planet, a civilization like this. Okay? You just can't. But let's continue. It says, he made the comments regarding devices like smartwatches, smart rings, and fitness trackers to members of Congress, adding that the Department of Health and Human Services is about to launch one of the biggest advertising campaigns in HHS history to encourage Americans to use wearables. Right. All right. And this marketing campaign is going to start off with wearables. Okay. But it's very likely that they start, doing a little teaser with the MOTB, talking about never lose your wearable. If you get it underneath your skin, you're never going to lose it. It's so convenient, right? All right. This is where the society is heading, man. It said, Kennedy said during a hearing before the House Committee of Energy and Commerce's Subcommittee on Health that wearables are a way people can take control of their own health. You know what another way is? By not eating bullshit, man. You see? But no, they never want to go the obvious route, man. No, they hate the way Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai created the fruits, the vegetables, the animals. Esau wants to edit and change everything and make it his own. You see? Because he hates the Lord's creation. It says, Kennedy said during a hearing before the House Committee on Energy and Commerce's Subcommittee on Health that wearables are a way people can take control of their own health. They can see, as you know, that what food is doing to their glucose levels, their heart rates, and a number of other metrics as they eat, he told members of Congress. And they can begin to make good judgments about their diet and about their physical activity, about the way that they live their lives. Okay? Now that part sounds good, but again, it's not to help you people. It's to implement gradualism and to make it more common for people to wear wearables, and basically combining again man with machine to get you used to the idea that, and more salakia, to get you more and more accustomed to being dependent on technology to such an extent that now you will feel comfortable getting a device underneath your skin, surgically implanted underneath your skin. Gradualism, right? We're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? Let's get that. Second Corinthians 2:11, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, which goes into plots and schemes. Okay, and one of the plots and schemes that Esau uses is gradualism. Okay, gradualism, a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution. Okay, and then there was here we go. Gradualism definition at dictionary.com. Some of these definitions are a little bit more descriptive.
Gradualism.
Yeah, gradualism. The principle or policy of achieving some goal by gradual steps rather than by drastic change. All right, this doesn't have it, but basically there was I forgot where I found it. It was an explanation saying how, gradualism is useful because it keeps people from, resisting change. Because if you implement the change slowly, people will get used to it. And you can change things a hell of a lot before people, crash out if you do it real slow. Like the example with a boiling frog, the boiling frog theory. It says the boiling frog is a metaphorical parable illustrating how people may not notice or react to gradual negative changes until it's too late. The story, though scientifically inaccurate, suggests that a frog will jump out of boiling water, but will stay in water that is slowly heating until it boils to death. It's often used to describe a lack of awareness or inaction in the face of slowly developing problems such as a decline in relationship quality or a gradual erosion of freedoms. Right. Because this devil Esau is going to come down with great wrath and mandate a lot of Orwellian measures, a lot of draconian laws. Okay, they're getting ready to do that, man. Okay, but now they are definitely implementing this gradualism. All right, this is another way to do it. Okay, and you know what? If Esau does it and it actually does help people lose weight, all right, I'm sure he's going to be disappointed by the fact that it actually helped people. But his larger goal, again, is to trap you people in that NWO and force you to get that MOTB. So if he has to help a bunch of you lose a little bit of weight and get a little healthy in order to get you to worship his technology, he's willing to do that, man. Okay, because, yeah, he'll do it unwillingly, but as long as it's for the greater evil, that's not going to bother Esau, man. All right? Because, the scripture says, he that worships the beast or takes his mark, right? Because by taking his mark, you are worshiping the beast. It's damn near the same thing. Okay, to get a computer chip under your skin, you got to really trust your government. You got to really trust, Esau Edom to allow him to put that in you. Okay, they already got these things. I've seen a lot of girls with these diabetic things on the back of their arm. Okay, a lot of people in general, have diabetes and, let's see. What else on that? While he has been critical of the diabetes drug Ozempic, which is often used for weight loss, he has expressed support for the prescription of such weight loss drugs for adults with morbid obesity and diabetes, provided that they are accompanied by exercise. Right, so, he says things that sound good. Okay, but again, you can't trust this devil, man, because when he does good, it's unwilling. Okay, and it's ultimately for his agenda. Okay, not this guy. He's just a puppet. Okay, but these international banking families, their new world order. All right, he says, the Ozempic is costing $1,300 a month. If you can achieve the same thing with an $80 wearable, it's a lot better for the American people, Kennedy said, adding, we're exploring ways of making sure that those costs can be paid for. Okay, but again, you got to remember, man, these international banking families, they make a lot of money off of the medical industry and the pharmaceuticals as well. Okay, so if you think their goal is to actually cure illnesses, okay, no, because they got to make their money, man. Okay, now will they show you some examples or try to get you to believe this shit works? They probably will, in order to get you people to buy in. Okay, again, that gradualism, and ultimately the first wave of people that get the MOTB on a mass scale, it's going to probably be voluntary first, right? Before they tell you, oh, you can't buy or sell, they're going to try to get a lot of you, dummies to take it voluntarily, man. All right, but that's where this society is heading, man. As you can see, you see examples every day. We bringing them out. Okay. This is Matthew 26:41. Watch and pray. Right? We're supposed to be watching, measuring the time diligently. Okay. Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay. And that's why the scriptures tell us to pray without ceasing, man. All right. We got to constantly be feeding our spirit with these words, with encouragement, right? Praying to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua for strength, for more faith, for wisdom. If we lack wisdom, we can ask, and the Lord will give it to us liberally, man. Okay. This is Psalm 64:6. They search out iniquities. Who does it, man? These international banking families, these wicked. They accomplish a diligent search. Right. They work hard to do evil, man. They accomplish a diligent search. both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, right? So these international banking families are not winging it. Okay, they are strategically doing everything they do, everything they say, everything they put out is for a reason. It's a chess move. Okay, you don't move a piece in chess just because, oh, well, there's no other piece to move. Fuck that. You only move when you have at least one purpose for that piece. Okay, and you may have multiple purposes for that piece that has to be moved. But you're not going to move because you don't know what to move. If they don't know, they're not going to move. Everything they do, every move they make is strategic, multi-purpose. Okay? Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. You see? All right? That's why we tell you not to believe a word they say, man, because it's deception. Okay? Esau's blessing, he has the sword, okay, that military might, but he also has deception, man. That's his next greatest weapon next to the sword is his lying lips. Okay? Which, let's grab that real quick. Before we get into that, let's grab that. But war was in his heart. All right. This is Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Everybody get this wearable and exercise. Everything's going to be all right. You're going to lose weight. You ain't got to pay $1,200 a month for your, whatever the hell, insulin or whatever. You ain't got to do this. We're going to phase out artificial colors. We're going to make America healthy again. Yeah. Hey, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. But war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, man. All right? You see? So you can't trust what his devil says, man. He's got that ability to manipulate with his words. He's a great liar. Okay? And, we'll get this as well. Because it's important to go into every time. Even if you've heard it before, we're going to hear it again. Because why not? This is important. All right, we got to constantly remind ourselves, man. Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay, right now they're recommending you people to get a health tracker, right? They're talking about these smart glasses, right? Man with machine technology is the way of the future. Artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, right? You got that Stargate project, $500 billion that they're spending on that. You got Mark Zuckerberg paying 50 programmers celebrity salary in order to quickly create artificial general intelligence. So the race for this shit to happen, for this NWO infrastructure to be ready, is going in warp speed, man. All right, before you know it, this thing will be mandatory, man. All right, if all of you people get your health trackers and smart glasses, what's to stop them from saying, well, underneath your skin is the next step? I mean, what's wrong with that? I mean, you're already wearing your health tracker. It's semi underneath your skin, right? You got diabetes. You always putting insulin in your body, right? What's wrong with putting a C-hip in you, right? Hey, them words are smoother than butter. You see? That is why we got to constantly stay locked into the scriptures, man. So we won't be deceived. Revelation 13 and 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Okay, so just like all this shit is voluntary now, they're going to have the MOTB out there voluntary. Okay, who knows? They might just slip it in there while they're advertising a bunch of other bullshit. And before you know it, once enough dummies get it voluntarily, then they're gonna mandate it. You see? That bait and switch. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Stay circumspect, Yasharala. These devils are going full steam ahead into their new world order. Okay? Jacob's trouble is at the door. We got a lot of, the stage is set for chaos. Okay? And the stage is being set for the MOTB to be mandated. Okay? We are literally almost out of here, man. So now's the time to really double down in this truth. All right? Keep this faith. Keep praying. Keep believing. All right, I want to finish by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakorash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, and a sincere shalom to the hopeful elect out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom wa, abad babal. Shalom.